that number one, I wanted to make sure that we had good, fair, equal representation if we were to consolidate for all of Orangeburg County. Now, the only way that I saw that being able to be done is if we go with lines that have already been established. If not, then you've got the 4 House members and 2 senators trying to come up with everyone else and drawing lines that they feel like would be in the best interest of whatever else, whoever they might be representing, or for whatever reasons they feel like a line should be drawn. I felt like the best way to do away with that appearance of trying to do things for particular reasons is just to go with county council lines. And that's a 7-member single districts in Orangeburg County, and then add 2 at-large members so that 2 people would not be representative of a particular area in Orangeburg, but they would be tasked with representing the interest of all of Orangeburg. So that's where that came from. That was my number one issue that I wanted to have addressed. The second issue that I continuously heard from my constituents was the concern that if we consolidate, number one, we're going to have schools that get closed, and number two, we're going to have attendance lines that get changed, and my son or daughter is going to be bused to another school that they currently don't attend, and that would be a bad thing. So we took what the Senate ultimately did, which was say that if you were ever going to close down a high school, that you had to have 2 public hearings and a referendum for the people that would be affected. We changed that to 3 public hearings, I believe, and we said that for any school in Orangeburg County, whether it was elementary, middle, or high school, before it was to be closed down, there would have to be a referendum. Felt like that put in safeguards to make sure that everyone felt comfortable that consolidation was not going to mean the closure of schools. Because folks, I at least, and I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of the delegation, we understand what schools mean to communities. And a lot of our communities in Orangeburg, that's really all we have, is our schools, and that's what holds us together.
Let me say also welcome all of you here. I've got a slight cold, so don't let that bother you any. Number 2, this whole process was based on 15 years of experience. And if you know that we had consolidation about 15 years ago, those same safeguards that were put in the first bill and the second bill to make sure that the people of the community control their schools, and that's why it's there. When we developed this process, it was developed by professional educators, professional administrators, who took all this information, look at Orangeburg County, look at our growth pattern, and come up with it built on consolidation. We think it's an open, but it's basically let the community control their schools. That's what we thought was important. Secondly, we believe that if this county continues to grow, and it will grow, that all kids, all students, regardless of where they live, have an opportunity to share in that wealth and that growth. And that's the purpose behind it. Secondly, let me tell you that Senator Hutto is not here. He's out of the country. I think he's on an economic tour somewhere in Canada somewhere. But he's out of town and won't be back into the 30s. That's why he's not here. Thank you.
I'm State Representative Jerry Govan. I represent House District 95 here in Orangeburg. Gotcha. I'm State Representative Jerry Govan, and I represent House District 95 here in Orangeburg. And I'm here tonight primarily to listen. Representative Ott has articulated quite well in terms of where we are in this process, which began in the Senate. The bill came over to the House, and for the past 4 years, we've been dealing on again, off again in terms of whether there's going to be consolidation again in Orangeburg County. For those of you who are not aware, of course, this is the 2nd time that we've done this. And so when you consider the fact that in 1996-97, where we passed the first consolidation from 8 to 3 school districts, now we're before you again in terms of a Senate plan that proposes that we go from 3 to 1 district. I've heard from constituents in the areas that I represent, from consolidated districts 4, district 5. I've been in conversations with the superintendents of all 3 school districts. I've talked to constituents, and of course, depending upon who you talk to, is an issue in terms of whether you're for or against consolidation. My position has and always been that that is a decision based on what we promised from 1996 and 97, the opportunity for you, the people, to have an opportunity to decide that through public referendum. That is not the case. That is not the case this evening, as we have a decision has been made to move forward. Now, I think it's important to know that all the individuals up here, I truly believe in the depths of my heart, have the people and the citizens, and more importantly, the children, interests of best at heart. And so I think it's important tonight for us to listen. This is a process, and I just want to again emphasize that we respect each other.